Hey traders, welcome to another paper trading session. This is going to be number 4. So like last time, we're going to be basically going candle by candle, what we're doing within certain markets, how we're reacting to things broken, things getting respected, all that stuff. Basically, how we trade within the markets will be shown within the paper trading sessions. We're not going to dive into how we use our methods. We're not going to dive into what supports or resistances or zones of confluences, all that stuff are, because we do teach that within the Performante Premium subscription service. But this is for people who already know how to trade but want to understand how we use our methods and our tools in order to try to find the best possible entries and try to find the best possible situations where we're going to be making money, or the highest probability of us making money. So this is going to be another session, one of those. Starting off always with the daily and then moving on to the 4-hour and 1-hour time frame to find the executions within our trades. But first off, like always, we're just going to be talking about our major horizontal zones of supply and demand. First key zone, definitely right here, previous zone of resistance and then support, and it was also support over here. And looking at another zone of support, we see a lot of candles closing at this area right here. So we have found our support and longer term support right here, and then we don't really have anything to go off of any level of resistance except for the recent high, which we can see right here. So in terms of the upside resistances, we're going to be using Fibonacci's, mainly extensions. We can find that right here. Let's find a fib retracement right here. So then we look for extensions within the chart. We can see that right here. But anyways, we won't really get to discussing exactly how to use it. I'll just use it. If you can figure it out, that's great. If not, maybe check out the Performante Premium. So let's talk about now the smaller term time frames. We've already discussed 2 zones that we could be looking to see the potential bounce. We also have a minor level within the 2 major levels, which we'll discuss on the 4-hour chart. So we know we're on an uptrend. We know we broke a recent high there. The actual all-time high is at $25-ish, but we've broken a key level within the chart. And let's just draw in our minor level of support here, because it is a key level within the area, and that'll be somewhere around there. So we got a minor level, and then we'll just discuss the current resistance we have right here as a minor level, and then we have our major level right there. So we understand the overall aspect of the chart. What we're looking for, let's just talk about flow for a little bit. What we're looking for is to get a pullback at this zone right here. Maybe see a descending trend line and then see a break above with a retest validating it as a new level of support. We might get some hesitation at this zone, but ideally we'd like to break it and then find new highs. So that's the overall structure we're looking for, is a descending zone for the price to respect maybe a couple more times, and then it breaks, retests, and then pushes to form this previous resistance, and maybe even pushes up above it and then makes new higher highs, and that would be really good for a potential long opportunity. But for now, we're just going to be seeing what the price action does. We don't really see anything worth trading right now, and we'll just hop into the 1-hour time frame. We do see a minor zone right here we could try to establish. We'd like to see the price hit one more time at least before we look to enter in any long positions. So let's just see what the price does for the first little while here. We see the price respect that zone yet again one more time, and if we're able to bounce off, which we do. So that is now a nice, well-respected zone within the chart we can use to potentially find an area where there's going to be a shift in trend. So overall, we do see a dip below that zone there on the 1-hour. Not ideal because this is our level of support, but overall it does look pretty good. Let's continue on with the analysis. We're still seeing the price come up above. Not seeing a whole lot right now that we're looking for. So we're seeing the price come up closer to this zone here. And I think what I'm going to do is just zoom out a little bit. And then let's continue on with the analysis. We don't see a break in anything just yet. I think what I'm also going to do is just connect the high of the wicks there, and then bring a projection into the game. Get this going. Nice little projection, giving us a zone instead of a single zone on a chart. So there we go. That is our descending zone, and the price is holding our support zone for now. This doesn't look ideal for an opportunity because we're now holding the lower part of the zone. But let's just see what the price action is able to do. So the price is still holding below the area, still holding below the area. Not seeing any break in a zone yet. We're kind of looking for more of a bullish break compared to a bearish break. Seeing the zone come up to it right now. We're seeing some hesitation in the price. Still hasn't broken it. Still hasn't broken it. I'll zoom in so you guys can see a little bit more clear here. I see it a little bit more clear. But there you go. Hopefully you guys can see it a little bit more clear. So we don't see a break yet. We're looking for a break. That's the initial break, not just yet. I don't classify as a breakout yet. I'd want to see the price really, really push out and then pull back above the zone. So I don't see a pullback just yet. We don't really see any breakout just yet. Let's see if we're still able to get the price to come back up above an area. We're still holding a level of support. So it kind of looks like a level of support within the recent price action, which is going to be right here, because we see many times over we're holding this area as a level of support. So I think that's going to be the level of support that I'm going to use instead for this descending triangle pattern with a minor level at those highs there. So let's just continue to see where the price is able to hold for the bulls. Right there, it looks like it's holding. We're getting very, very close towards the apex of the price action pattern. Very, very close towards the apex here. We're basically right at it. So the price has to make a decision which way it's going to go. Hasn't made a decision yet. So we are not going to take action. We're going to just wait until the price is going to give us an indication of a shift in trend, and it has not yet. So it's very right in the middle of the apex. We're expecting a move soon. We don't know which way. Okay, so we're getting some bullish momentum coming in. So visual order sent to back. Let's just move this a little bit further out that way. So initially we are getting a little push to the upside. Let's just take a quick look at the 4-hour. Now this wouldn't be here obviously because the price just broke out of it, but it does look still very well respected. We have a key zone horizontally for a support level, and what we're looking for now is a break and then a retest of a minor level of support. So we see a little bit wider zone right here. We initially see a level of resistance, which is going to be right here. So ideally we want to see a push and then pulling back to around this level. We can make it wider like so. But overall, we're looking for a push, validating the zone as a solid push, and then a pullback to a nearby area of sensitivity. So that's our overall plan. We see that strong push to the upside. Now we're looking for a pullback, validating the zone, maybe somewhere around there, making it a little bit bigger so we're able to capture the wider area. So we see a little pullback. We want to see a more significant pullback to our area around $22, somewhere within this zone. That's our ideal situation. No pullback, no pullbacks. Unfortunately, I think we missed this particular trade unless we pull back to another significant zone. That's not really a risk reward I'm looking to capture at this moment. I'm looking at this zone right here. Theoretically, that could be a nice little support bounce for a move up, but if we want this zone right here at around $24 to be our first level of take profit, like we would have seen here. So if we were waiting for that pullback, ideally we would have saw the pullback. Our first stop loss initiation point is right here. And then looking at the take profit, we're looking at a very significant zone of take profit where we have the first take profit, maybe at a risk reward of 2, but at this point at the high, we're getting a take profit of like 3.5, 3.2, something along the lines of that, depending on your risk is. So that's pretty good. But if we're entering at the lows here, I'm not really seeing that risk reward that I like. We're not even like, I guess 2 is a decent risk reward. That could look like a potential opportunity. And you know what? Let's just take this trade if we are able to see enough bullish injections coming in. So we see our first injection, we see our second injection. So we're looking for 3 zones of, we're looking for 3 injections of buy pressure before we look to enter, because this isn't a super well respected zone. And it's not like we're getting a zone of confluence. It's just one single zone of sensitivity. So we want to see the price respect 3 times with bullish pressure coming into the market before we look to enter. So we've seen 2 so far. We're looking for that final one. So that could be the final one. We do see a decent amount of buy pressure coming into the market. That is theoretically our 3rd injection of buy pressure, holding the price above the zone. I think what we will do is have a little entry here. I wouldn't put my full position in, but that is the risk reward that we're going to be playing with. On an uptrend, we've seen 1, 2, 3 injections of buy volume, and I'm just basically going to do a straight risk reward here, no take profits midway. Let's just see what the take profit is at the 2 risk reward. Not great, so I'm probably just going to put the risk reward at this point. We're on an uptrend. I'd like to see the price hit this zone, but because we didn't end up capturing this entry here, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to have that great risk reward that we're looking for. So we're going to have a smaller risk reward of around 3. Not really going to be shifting the take profits into multiple situations. Let's just look at the 4-hour chart again, just so we have a good understanding of where we are. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that entry. We got a nice level of resistance there, and then we can see it all throughout the chart. Pretty good zone. We respected it once on the 4-hour, and it looks like we're getting that second wave of buy volume coming in. We see more buy volume compared to the sell volume overall within the consolidation, which is volume accumulation, which is good for our long opportunity. Overall, pretty happy with it. I'm going to say I'm entering here, and then I have a real quick take profit stop loss zone. Very short and sweet, not trying to extend it too much. If we're able to break above the $24 range, then I'll be looking to enter again because we have a key zone that we're able to work with. But for now, because it's a mid-range zone, because it's not super well respected, if we extend this out further, yes, it is respected within the consolidation, but this zone here is a double confirmation. It's a zone of confluence, which will be able to provide us with additional information and additional conviction that we'll be able to actually move to the upside or move to the intended direction. But unfortunately, we don't have that, so we're playing a little bit lighter with this current trade. So let's just play it out. We've already discussed our initial take profits and everything. And stop losses, let's see if the price is able to push up, make the new higher high. Still seeing the consolidation move. And let's see if we're able to get that push. Does not look like we're getting it just yet. And let's see if it gets a bullish move. Nope, it does not. So there is our first loss in that situation. We got a consolidation. We were entering at the lows. We unfortunately could not get it. And that trade is now invalid. We're out of it. We have taken our loss of just under 2%, and we're going to basically just do its thing and not going to take any trades just yet. Let's just close this, and this will be our main level of support. And let's see what it does. We're not going to enter it just yet. We just want to see. It hasn't really got the bullish push to enter here. If it does actually give us the opportunity to enter here and then push up and pull back, we're looking for that pullback. And if it does come down, if it breaks this zone, we could be looking for a nice potential short from this zone to this zone, around 6%. So let's just see what happens within this range. Let's just see what happens. Not really seeing that much pressure within the market. We do see, or I at least see, a nice little zone right here that we formed. And if we break that, it could be looking like a decent potential opportunity for a long. But for now, not seeing much of a move. We see a decent amount of buy pressure coming in here. We can close this trade out like so. And I'm just going to take that out. So then now we have a wider descending trend line. And this is our key level of support. And this is our key level of resistance. Once it breaks the resistance, we're looking to potentially enter long. Once it pulls back and validates our new level of support multiple times. So we're just playing within the two zones here, not really seeing anything occur too much. Holy shit. Okay, wow. That is a massive amount of sell pressure. So we push down. I think at this point we could be looking for shorts just within this range here. So just talking about short opportunities. So I'm talking about entering here, having a stop loss above the zone, and then take profit at this zone, giving us maybe a 2.3 risk reward, not ideal. Let's see if we can get another rejection here. So if we get 3 zones where there's significant sell pressure keeping the price down, then I can look to enter and just capture from zone to zone. Overall, we're still looking bullish because we're in a bullish momentum to the upside, but capturing from this zone to this zone definitely seems like a possibility because this was a descending triangle. We have a lot of sell pressure here because it was a previous level of buy pressure, and this zone is a pretty quick looking like it could be a very dependable, capturable move from one zone to another. So let's see if we're able to see the price respect this zone as a level of resistance for a few times. So we got our first injection of sell pressure right here. Let's see, we got our second wave right here. So we got one wave and then we got our second wave. So we're looking for one more wave of sell pressure to initiate us into the trade. So we're looking for a little pullback from the bulls here. So this is that pullback. Still not seeing it. This is exactly where I wanted to see the price. This was a little too low for me. I wanted to see the price come all the way up to this point here. And if we start to see sell pressure coming into the market, then I will look to short and just capture from this point here, basically to the lows where that wick touched. So let's see if we're able to get sell pressure here. Okay, boom. I'm very happy with that. Let's talk about the entry at this point here. Let's get our snip. So we got our first wave of sell pressure. That was right here. And then we got our second wave of sell pressure. That was right here. And now we are getting our third wave of sell pressure right here. That for me is 3 confirmations that there's sell pressure within this area. Previous level of support, new level of resistance. And that's what we're aiming to do. And then let's get our trade plan here. Let's get an entry right at this zone. We're going to have the stop loss above the previous high, which is right here. So we're going to have the risk of around, let's say 7.4 with the initial take profit of 2 to 1, which is right here. And then let's look at potential alternative take profits if we are able to go beyond that, because it was a very significant push pullback. So this is our first take profit. Let's just put our take profit zone right at that zone. So let's just put it right at the low there. So we got a risk reward of 2 to 1 for our initial take profit. And let's look on the 4 hour here to determine where we could find other levels of take profit. The next one's definitely going to be right here. We see key level of support and resistance. And then I think the third one could be at the lows here. So initial take profit or initial risk reward of 2 to 1. Second risk reward is going to be 3.14, and then the final is going to be 4.2 with an average of 3.2-ish, 3.17. So overall looks pretty good. There is our short option. Let's just zoom out a little bit here so we see a key descending zone. That is going to be a long-term zone that we will want to pass eventually, but I think we will see some bearish pressure come into the market because looking at the overall structure of the price action, we can see that this is a descending zone making lower highs. We saw the price just bouncing from resistance, creating descending zone to a horizontal support. So we're making a descending triangle. Once we saw the price break the support zone, we're looking for a retest. That's exactly what we saw. We saw 3 levels of confirmation with sell pressure injecting into the market. That's enough confirmation for me to enter short here. First level take profit is at the previous low. Very, very key level of resistance. I'm probably going to put 50% at the first level and then 25 and 25 because it's a key level of support and it's also going to be our zone of demand. And overall, still looks like a pretty good level where we could have a strong bounce off of our support. So just to reiterate, 50% of our take profit is going to be at the first benchmark with a risk reward of 2, and then 25 and then 25. So we got the main position getting out at 2 to 1, and then we got 25 and 25. So we've basically talked about exactly what we want to enter. We have everything pre-planned. Once we hit take profit or risk reward 2 to 1, we're going to instantly move our stop loss to break even, maybe a little bit below, just so we're covering commissions and fees and whatnot. And then we'll be able to potentially break this zone here as a level of support and then make a new low. Once that occurs, we're going to move our stop loss just above this as a new level of resistance, and then we'll continue until we potentially hit all 3 take profits. And then if we do revert back, we're looking for this trend line here as a new level of resistance. If we're able to break it and hold a horizontal level of support, then we'll look to enter long. So overall, that is the outlook for BNB at this current situation, and we've basically identified every possible situation that the price could play out. And we'll just put a projection here just because I like to be a little prepared, and I just like projections because they make the chart look a little bit cleaner overall. So now let's talk and discuss the commentary while the trade is playing out. So we just got 3 confirmations that there's sell pressure within the market. We got the stop loss above the previous high. We're still seeing higher highs, but I think that we will see a break below. So let's continue on and just let the price play out. We saw an initial rejection down, starting the momentum to the downside, continuing. Little pullback. This could be still a higher low. We have not made a lower low yet, so we could still see the price come up to our initial entry point. Still seeing the higher low. We have not seen a lower low. Still not seeing a lower low. Got a decent amount of buy volume coming in. Still not seeing a lower low. And there is our lower low. All right, we have not hit our take profit yet, but this is now our lower low, so it looks pretty good for a potential move to the downside. Boom, first take profit hit, instantly move to stop loss to take profit. We will now get our stop loss just below our take profit, or sorry, our entry point. So it's going to be right around there. And once you get a confirmation that we are really below this new level of resistance, then we can move our stop loss just above it. But for now, we are holding off on moving our stop loss lower. We're going to continue on and just play with what we have with house money. So let's see what we're able to identify. No take profit yet. Strong move to the downside. Boom. Second take profit hit, and I definitely want to move my stop loss above this zone of resistance. So we hit 2 of the 3 take profits here. So we hit the 50%, like we talked about. This first level is going to have a 50% position size taken out. So we get a risk reward of 2 immediately, and then we hit our second take profit, which had a risk reward of, I think, 3.2. So now we only have 25% of our trade still left in this trade, because we know on the bigger time frame, on the daily, on the 4-hour, we're on an uptrend. We want to keep our shorts a little bit tighter, and we want to keep our longs a little bit more extended if we are seeing the very solid breaks towards the upside, when we have confidence and conviction that we have taken the right entry. So overall, we're looking pretty good. We want to manage risk while potentially letting the trade play out and hitting our last level of take profit. I did move our stop loss lower, so I'm capturing more profits. And let's just see where this price is able to go. So we see a little bit of buy pressure coming in. We see the same level of buy pressure hold right here, getting some bullish pressure to come in. Made a new low, lower highs, seeing decent amount of buy volume come into that market there. And we're holding now below the zone. If we're breaking up at any point above that zone, we're going to get taken out from the stop loss. But for now, we're still in that trade. Decent amount of sell pressure coming, Okay, so that has confirmed this zone as a new level of resistance. We could probably refine that a little bit more. Let's just go a little bit here and a little bit higher up. So that is our key zone of resistance, and I'm just going to put it up a little bit lower. So if it goes above that zone, it made a new high, so I'm just going to cancel it there. But if that was the lower high peak, then I'd be looking pretty good, because then we can continue our momentum and then hit the final level of a take profit. So let's continue on and see what we're able to find, because we have not been able to make a lower low from this point on here. So I've reduced my risk to the best possible opportunity while letting the trade play out. I think we could see a potential higher high come in. This is the same high, so if we break that at all, I'm definitely going to be all right with taking this stop loss hit, because we've hit 75% of our take profits in terms of position, and overall we're looking pretty good. Rejection yet again, so I'm very happy with where my stop loss is right now. I'm going to just play it out, and if it hits my stop loss, so be it. And if it hits my last level of take profit, that's fantastic. Seeing a lot of buy pressure around this zone, honestly. I only have 25% left, so I don't think I'm going to sell here. But if you have not taken any profits, we see a strong level of buy volume here. I'm just going to let it play out and let it do its thing. But it definitely seems like, okay, boom, out of the trade. So we've had a major risk reward 2 to 1, 50% right here, and then we took the second 25% right here. So we're only having the last 25%, and that got stopped out right there. So now we're completely out of the trade. This didn't get hit. This one did at 25%. This one did at 50%, and then we got the final one there. So I think our average is going to be like at 6.3 or whatever the case may be, and then our initial stop loss was up here, so we didn't ideally get the risk reward of 2 to 1. Maybe we got actually we probably did. Actually we did, because 25%, 50%, so we're averaging right here. So we did get a risk reward of 2 to 1, maybe a little bit above 2 to 1, because this take profit was closer to the distance than this one. So we probably get a risk reward of like 2.2, 2.1, 2.3, somewhere around there, which is pretty good. So overall, happy with that trade. We are now completely out of this trade, and because it broke this level of resistance, let's see if it actually will break it. Yeah, it broke it, and then it's testing a new level of support. So overall, I'm now not looking for shorts, because now we're making our move back to the upside, and now we will just see how it reacts to this descending resistance at this point here. So now we're just going to see how the trade reacts to our new level of resistance here. I'm just going to say hello to the people that are currently within our chats. Hello, people who are within the chats. Thanks for tuning in. I'll just continue along with the analysis here. Just quickly want to see what's happening in the live markets here. Not a whole lot, looking pretty good. BTC is not really moving much. I just wanted to see what the other alts are doing that I'm looking at. So let's continue on with the trade analysis. We got a nice short down. We lost one trade at this position right here. So we're basically 1 and 1, lost 1, won 1. And now we're looking to see the price react to this zone. I just want to make that a little bit more clear because it's not a perfect area. Let's get our descending trend line. Let's get that anchor point. Very key anchor point, and then we see the wicks touch right there. And then what we'll do is get a nice projection zone, I think a little bit below, like so. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that, and we're just waiting. We'll put that nice mid-range zone right around here. And we're just basically seeing what the price is doing. Got a good solid rejection there. Let's see if it'll fall again. All right, wow, okay, so we got a pretty solid move to the upside. Now we're retesting that resistance again, so we're pretty interested in this particular pair if we do get the price to break above this zone. On the 4 hour, we can see it has not closed above this zone yet, so we're going to remain very patient and really try to ensure that we're getting a break above the resistance before we enter long. So let's continue the analysis. Let's just look for horizontal zones here before we look. It's a bit of a wide range, but we see this zone right here initially hold as a support, and then it turns into a resistance. And looking back, we can see it's a key zone within the chart. It's a little bit wider than I'd like to have. We can even extend it all the way up there if we want. I'm just going to extend it a little bit higher up. It's a wider zone than we want, but that is our support zone that is creating our level of confluence from the descending zone and the horizontal zone. So let's see if we're able to get a bullish push to actually hold. So it does look like it's holding. Let's look at the 4 hour chart here. So yep, the 4 hour chart has held above the zone. So now we're looking to enter long, but we want to see a validation that there's going to be buy pressure within the area. That means buy injection within the support. So we got our first injection of buy volume. That's definitely not enough to consider a level of confluence and an indication that the bullish pressure is going to continue. We want at least minimum 2. Ideally, we want 3. So let's continue on. We see our pullback. Let's see if we get that injection of buy volume. We do get that second wave of injection of buy volume, which is going to signify that there is bullish pressure within the market. That is now a double confirmation that there's buyers within the area. So ideally, we're looking for 2, or ideally, we're looking for 3. Minimum, at a minimum, we're looking for 2. I think in this particular situation, we will look for that third zone of confluence where there is going to be buy pressure coming in yet again. But overall, it does look pretty good. We do see a lot more buy volume coming in, not a lot of sell pressure. I think I'll wait a little bit longer because I do think that price could come back down here. Although there is more buy volume coming in. Let me just think about this here. Let's go back to the 4 hour and then to the hour chart. Yeah, I think I will wait. I think we could see a red candle on the 4 hour pull back to around this zone again. So not looking to enter just yet. Looking for more indications that there is buy pressure coming in. So we do see that there's a decent amount of buy pressure. So we see another rejection from this minor level here, right here. And overall, we're just seeing a nice consolidation, which is good for our analysis. So there is that red candle on the 4 hour. Looking pretty good, I think. So once we get the next wave of buyers to come into the market, we'll get our triple confirmation on a zone of confluence, which will give us a good probability for us to see some bullish action soon to come. So once I see the bulls start to enter the market again and to see that bullish pressure emerge, then I'll look to enter. So this is not a bullish, this is not bullish pressure at all. This is bearish pressure still. So I'm still looking for that bullish confirmation. That's pretty bullish. We see more bulls coming into the market. Yeah, it's not ideal because the price did come all the way up to this zone and then we did close here, but this is our third injection of buy pressure and it's more bullish volume than the sellers. Let's just talk about this entry requirement right here. So this is our first level of buy pressure coming into the market right here. And then we see the second level of buy pressure come in right here. And this is our final third wave of buy pressure. We see 3 times where buy pressure came into the market. That's three confirmations. We see 1 right here, we see 2, and we see 3 zones of confirmation. And not only that, so there's 3 zones of confirmation. That's the first thing. We also see this descending zone from a previous level of resistance turn into a new level of support. That's the second level of confirmation. And then we also see previous level of resistance, which is this zone right here, resistance, resistance, turn into a new support. So there's a lot of things validating this area as a support that shows that there's demand within the area, which is going to signify a high probability trade for me. So I'm going to enter at the initiation of the next injection of buy volume, which is going to be the third injection of buy volume that I'm able to identify. What we do is we put our stop loss below the previous low. We do see a little low here, just so it's below our zone of confluence and where the current supply is. What the current support, is right here. So let's look at the 4-hour time frame here. So we got a good entry. We want that support to be well respected. It is. And we want that stop loss to be below the key zone. And our first take profit is going to be at this high here. Let's put our take profit right at the mid-range zone right there. So we got our risk reward of 2.6, so our first level of take profit, which is pretty good. Beyond that, because we've entered basically right at the breakout initially, if we just talk about the previous breakout that we had right here, we could not enter here, so I did not want to have multiple take profits because I'm basically entering at a mid-range zone and we didn't shoot up. So in this zone, I would have entered multiple take profits, but because we entered here, we were just looking at one take profit, whereas in this zone, we have multiple confluences within the support. So we have a first take profit here, and then we look like we could potentially move and make a new high. But this is a problem. We're not able to really gauge off of anything because we don't have any price action to go off of. So this is when we use our fibs. So we look for swing low to swing high. This is our swing low to swing high, which is pretty good. We're currently at the 0.618 level of resistance, bouncing off the 0.27 and the 0.618, which is going to give us confirmation that these zones are pretty good. So we're going to this swing low to this swing high. We can see right here, we have a potential take profit of 618 at around $26. Let's look at the potential risk reward of that. If it's like around 3 or 4, because this one's at 2.6 or something, 2.6. This one's going to be at 4. I think that's a pretty good take profit. So we're looking for the 4-hour chart, putting the top of the zone at the body candle closure of the swing high, and then we're putting the low where it initially started at the low candle body closure of the low, and we did the initial swing high to low here, and that created our zone right there where we're bouncing off of. And then if we're getting to the next high, now it's creating our potential next level of take profit, which is going to be just right here. I'd like to keep it a little bit below, so that will be a risk reward of around 2 to 1. So overall, that is where my second level of take profit will be. I think at this point, it's looking pretty good because if we do break this zone, we'll have a pullback, and I might want to be looking for a descending trend line to then enter before we make our next move up. So I'm looking for the push. We'll probably have a pullback at around this zone, and then the next level push before we have a pullback, potentially capturing the retracement back down to our new level of support before we push again. So overall, I'm very happy with the structure of this situation. What I'm looking for is for the price to break out where we currently are, test this, hit our first level of take profit, which is right here, and then it'll probably consolidate, and then we're looking for the next push to a second level of take profit. It'll probably consolidate. We're looking for a descending zone, break, retest, and then we're looking for another move to the upside. So I'm just looking for the first and second pushes here. Not going to get too greedy because this is a zone where the fib is going to lie for the 618 area. So now that we've basically talked about everything, why we're taking these take profits, why we're entering here, why we set our stop loss here, basically the trade plan and exactly what we're doing, now it's just going to be clicking play and seeing what the price action does. So we see a little bit more buy volume come in. Decent amount of buy volume come in. Let's see if it's able to break. It's able to break the previous level of resistance, which is really good to see. Let's see if it'll test for a new level of support. It does, with a pretty good amount of buy volume coming up, picking the price right back up. And then we see the injection of buy volume come in. And then we see the second level injection of buy volume come in. We see the price hold our new level of support. We did get the price come below our resistance, but it held. And there is our third level of buy pressure come in, which is going to signify a potential move to the upside, which it does. We get a pullback. We get a stronger pullback. A lot more buy volume coming in. Pretty volatile time towards our first level of take profit. Still, I'm not going to get out because we still haven't taken our first level of take profit. Not seeing the buy volume we ideally would like to see. Seeing the price pull back to our major zone right here, I am going to hold my stop loss where it currently is because we haven't really hit our first take profit yet. Seeing the buy volume, let's just zoom in so everyone can see exactly what's happening. So we were holding this level of support right here, which looked good. We were holding it. Unfortunately, we did fall back down, retest for a new resistance, and fell below, making a new lower low. I still have confidence in this setup. This could have been a little pullback on the bigger time frame. So I'm still confident in this setup. I'm just going to take this out because I don't want to have any bias. I just want to ensure that it's a move to the upside, pullback, and then a push. So I'm still having confidence, not moving my stop loss, giving the price room to breathe before it hits my holy shit first take profit and second done. That was a pretty big move. Definitely, let's just look on the 4 hour to see that massive push and pullback. So this is kind of why I am a little hesitant to move the stop loss right to break even when the price initially moves up to my try to goes to my first take profit. We see that first take profit right here. It didn't initially hit it. We were just short and then we started trending down, making lower lows and lower highs. I did not move my stop loss to break even because I wanted to give the price room to breathe, and that's exactly what happened. We tested this initially. We tested this one more time, double confirmation of a level of support, and then we blasted off, hitting take profits very, very quickly soon after. So if I moved my stop loss right to break even, basically I would have got stopped out, and then the price would have hit both of my take profits with an average risk reward of 3.4, 3.3, something around there. So that would have been a really, really good trade that I would have missed out on if I were to move my stop loss right to the break even zone. I'm just going to see what's happening with the live markets, nothing crazy. So that, I think, is a great, great example of why we should be patient with moving stop losses to break even points. Let's say if we had a third take profit, I definitely moved my stop loss above this or below this zone here. But that was a pretty good trade. I think I'm going to end off the paper trading session with that. We made one trade that was a dud. It was a loss. And then we made another trade, which hit 2 out of the 3 take profits. And we took 75% of our capital out at predetermined take profit levels. And then the last 25% was a stop loss trigger where we had profits captured below our entry point, which would yield us positive results. And then it was a risk reward of, I think, a little bit over 2, maybe 2.1, 2.2, something along the lines of that. We didn't exactly calculate it, but it was a risk reward of 2/1. And then this particular trade, it was a risk reward. I think it was like at 3.3, 3.2, something along the lines of that. So we got 2 winners, 1 loss in this particular setup. Looking back at it on the daily, why did we want to enter? We saw a break of a key level of resistance right here. We were looking for the pullback and then a push to the upside. We initially got that short because we came back in below the key level of sensitivity where we closed right here, and that's where we got our short. Let's just get the snip tool here and talk about the entries on the bigger time frame. So our initial entry was, I believe, right here where we pushed up and then retested somewhere around there. So that was our initial entry, which was a loss, and then we entered a short from this pullback to around here. So that was the short that we took, and then the long that we took was at the break of our zone of confluence right here to make new highs. So that was the overall look on the daily. We can see it pretty clearly on the 4 hour and especially on the 1 hour. Overall, pretty happy with that trade plan and the trades that we took. If you learned something, let me know. If you'd like another pair covered, definitely post on the YouTube comments and we'll be sure to look at them and potentially incorporate a pair that you're interested in within the upcoming videos if it does actually look like a trade or look like a pair that we would trade. If, like we're talking, has enough volume, is liquid, has decent price action patterns that are able to be traded. Some are really not good looking charts. So hopefully you got something out of this. I don't want to ramble too much. I hope this yielded you some good knowledge on how we like to move our stop losses, how we like to manage the trade, because that is a very big part of trading, is being able to manage it. But I do think the most important part of trading as a skill, not taking psychological skill, is going to be entries. And then the second one is going to be managing a trade. And then obviously I've been very vocal about being The psychological part of trading will be and is the most challenging aspect of trading by far, without a doubt. For me anyways, everyone's different, but in terms of the way I trade, in terms of the challenges that I've had to overcome, psychologically, there are many challenges with trading that each trader needs to overcome. Everyone's different, but that for me was the most challenging aspect of trading, and still is to this day. I read books and I try to digest and I try to be a sponge to all information regarding quality psychological information, knowledge about trading. I like to look at Mark Douglas. He's a very, very well known trader who is mainly focusing on the psychological aspects of trading. If you don't know who he is, definitely check him out. Mark Douglas. He has quite a few books that I really like to read, as well as a lot of podcasts that he used to do that I listen to. So overall, this was pretty good paper trading session. I hope you got something from it. This is really, really helping you as well as me, because I usually do this on my own and I'm not really bringing it down to this much detail because I already know what I'm looking for and I don't have to explain it. But by me explaining it step by step exactly what I'm looking for, I think it also helps me a lot too, because it gives me the patience and discipline required to actually only act when I need to, which is definitely hard as a trader sometimes. Not looking for triple confirmation or double confirmation, not waiting until the price is fully broken out the zone. There's a lot of things that you can do that can mess up your trading just because you're not following the trades that you've already have, or the plan you already have within your trade plan. And this paper trading session, or these types of paper trading sessions, really give me the discipline and give me the, I guess, structure in order to really follow through with my plan. Because this is 100% live. I'm just picking a point on a chart and trading it. I'm looking at the daily. I'm just picking a point. Yes, I kind of know if it's going to go up or down. But for example, this short, I just looked at key levels, respected it, had 3 touches. That's a high probability setup for me to make a downside. And then this is just simple things I'm doing over and over and over and over again. It will work if you follow a plan to a T. And the only times I'm seeing my trading take dives, or I'm seeing longer than average zone, or longer than average times where I'm not able to make some profits. So I guess consolidations within my P&L is when I'm not actually following my plan to a T, when I'm not doing everything I need to within the plan. That's when I start losing money, like entering at stupid times. And I know I'm entering at stupid times, but it's really it, and I want to gain some exposure before I go to bed, stuff like that. Stupid shit that no trader should be doing, but sometimes FOMO, or just want to get a little bit of exposure in the market, being bored. There's so many things that you have to stay disciplined with as a trader, and that just comes with time. You're not going to be able to learn it right away. We can teach you all the things in terms of price action, in terms of TA, in terms of support and resistance, what to look for shifts in trend, all this stuff. But at the end of the day, every single psychological skill that you need to build in order to become a successful trader is only going to be built with you suffering through the bullshit and the difficulties and the times of turbulence. And no one will be able to provide that for you. I can't provide you with the amount of knowledge in order for you to actually learn what it takes to be patient in the markets. I can tell you, be patient, look for double confirmation, look for triple confirmation, look for a break. All this stuff is just information. But you're not going to be able to completely abide by that and follow it like it's your religion unless you see the emotional turmoil, unless you feel the negative situations that you're finding yourself in if you are not following your plan. So that's the number one thing, is follow your plan, have a plan to begin with, and then stick to it like it's your religion, like it's your Bible, like you have no other option. You need to do this, and this is the only way that you're going to be able to do it in order to make money. That's how I view the markets. That's how I view my system. It's just basically a list of things that if it gets checked off, I do whatever I'm going to already do. It's not me thinking, oh, maybe this is a good opportunity. It might yield me some money because, the momentum is strong or whatever. I have very, very clear, specific things I need the market to do before I even think about entering. Yeah, I could be interested in a few things if it's a double confirmation, if it breaks a key zone, but like this trade here, I didn't get the confirmations I wanted, so I did not enter. This zone right here, we were talking about the break in trend, like at the beginning of the video, we saw the initiation of the bullish move happen here, and that could have been a pretty good entry, and I could have caught some take profits, but we didn't enter here because we didn't see the double or triple confirmation. We didn't see any pullback. We didn't see anything. It just held a zone of resistance like this, and it just went boom. No pullback, nothing. And we didn't enter it, even though we were looking for a long side exposure, because the rules that we have in place, the things that need to take place before we look to enter did not take place. We had a list of things and the list did not fulfill, so we don't enter. Simple as that. We don't want to use emotions to enter at all. Zero, absolute no emotions as a trader. You cannot have that. Emotions will make you go broke in the financial markets. You need to have complete discipline and complete reliability of the actions you're taking, and to be able to stick with whatever plan you have, whatever system, whatever method you have, it doesn't matter. You need to stick like it is your religion. Like if you don't eat beef because of a certain religion, if you pray every Sunday or pray every night, and because you do it because it's your religion and there's no stopping you, that's why you have to look at the markets. Like, you can't look at it like it's a hobby, like it's just something that you do. Like, sometimes you'll have a banana in the morning and sometimes you won't. You don't really know. It's either you're going to have a banana in the morning every single day of your life, and you're never going to not skip a banana in the morning, or you just don't have that rule where you're going to have a banana in the morning, right? Like, it's a really stupid example that I chose to have a banana. But you know what I mean. Sticking to your plan, abiding by it, taking action when the indications tell you to enter or exit the market. So I hope you got something out of this. That was a little bit of a rant, of a tidbit of psychological information, or a rule I guess traders should try to follow if they want profits in the market. So overall, I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, happy trading. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below. Peace.